Ladies and gentlemen, let's learn how to transfer a dart. It is known as dart transfer, or you can call it dart manipulation. So we are just going to learn how to manipulate our dart. We are going to move a dart from, let's say, this point and put it into our neck. You can take a dart from this point and then put it into your armhole. Now, a dart can be transferred to anywhere. That transfer is just one of the things you can do to make your designs exciting, because it is boring to keep seeing a buzz dart and then a whiz dart always around the positions where they are. So the whole idea of this work is just to teach you that your darts cannot be stuck at this point and then this point. You can always move them around anywhere you want them to be. And it is purely for the beauty purpose and nothing more, nothing less. There are times that you'll be doing some kind of designs, or you see some sort of designs and you realize that, oh, it doesn't come with a buzz dart, it doesn't come with a whiz dart, but there's gathered somewhere, or the dart it doesn't exist, it's being moved to somewhere else. Mind you, what I am teaching is not to teach you how to eliminate a dart. I'm just teaching you how to manipulate or how to transfer. It means that the dart still exists. It's just the positioning we are changing. It's a very, very beautiful thing. So as we go through, you'll be seeing different designs and how lovely it can be done in a different way. So let's just learn how to move a dart around first, and then we can go to the different designs. Now, to move a dart around, first of all, you must find your apex. Now, when we say find your apex, apex is the point where your whiz dart and your buzz dart, they meet each other. So the point where both of them meet, or your buzz point. So you can just take a ruler and then draw a line from your whiz dart up. Then you draw another one from your buzz dart to cross it or to meet it. So where both of them meet each other, that is where we call your buzz point. So always you must find your buzz point first. That is where to transfer the dart from. And then you would have to decide which of the darts you want to move and where you want to move them. So let's just make an example. I want to move this buzz dart to my armhole. So what am I going to do? I'm just going to find the specific place I want to move my dart to. So I want to move my dart to my armhole. So I must mark there first. And then this is the dart I want to move. So let me just shade it so you see the dart I want to move. Now I want to move this buzz dart to my armhole. And then what I'm saying is start by finding where your apex is. And your apex is the point where your bust and your waist meet each other. You draw a straight line and then you draw another straight line. So the center is your bust point or your apex. Then you draw a straight line from your armhole to meet the bust point. Now all you're going to do is this. Take a scissors and then slash the dart out. So I'm going to cut this dart out, do exactly what I am doing, and you'll get the result. So I have cut my dart out. For some reason, I'm just going to put it here. It's supposed to be thrown away. We don't need it anymore. But to make it easy for you, the dart has been cut off. And then you continue the cutting all the way to the apex or the bust point. Go all the way to the bust point. Then you stop there. Then now you come to the point where you want to move the dart to, and then you slash from that point all the way to the apex as well. Go all the way to the apex. Now look at the simple thing I'm going to do. You just pick a masking tape like this, and then you just close the bust. Don't forget, you want to move your dart from this point to this point. And what I'm telling you is that cut your bust dart. Continue the cutting all the way to your apex. Don't forget, go all the way to your apex. Then you come to this point, you cut all the way to your apex as well. Now look at what I'm going to do. I'm just going to close my bust dart like this. Just make sure that they close. You would have to, for that section, it would overlap. Don't worry about it. You keep closing. So I have just closed. Just make sure that this tip is meeting each other. But for this part, it would overlap. So just let it overlap very well. And then all you're going to do is take this and then just tape them. So you just close it, and then you close this as well. So now what do we have? A bust dart has been closed, and then we now have a dart in our armhole. So when you finish, all you're going to do is to put it on another brown paper, retrace around this, draw this dart in here, draw all the neck and then everything, and your new dart is going to move, or your dart has been moved from this point to that point. So once again, to go over, I just decided that I wanted to move my bust dart to my armhole. So all I did was, I first of all looked for the apex, which was where my bust and my waist met each other. And then I identified the part of my armhole I want to move the dart to. I drew a straight line from that point all the way to my apex. Don't forget, it should come all the way to that point. If you stop before that point, you have issues closing it. So just cut all the way to this point. And then when you finish, you are just going to cut your dart out as I have cut and then place here. Then you continue the cutting all the way to your apex. And then you can now come and close this point, and your dart will be moved here. So when you finish, all you're going to do is just go and place it on another brown paper, trace around it. So let's just make an example. So I have this as my brown paper, like this. Now all I'm going to do is, first of all, trace around it. And then when I'm done, I will just have a new design. So let me just trace. Now, when you are going to trace, look at what I'm going to do. You can just measure from this bust point to this area 1 inch, between half to 1 inch, anything works. So you measure 1 inch like this. So I measured from where the tip of the dart is 1 inch. And then now you draw your dart. So you won't draw the original thing that has come all the way to this point. No, you need to measure 1 inch. And then you draw from this point to that, and then from that point to this as well. And then when you finish, you continue tracing all around. When you get to this area, you realize that it is not straight. One is slightly longer than the other. You either choose to follow the longer one, or what you can do is just put a ruler on it and then trim everything off. So you draw a new one like this. So I can cut this one off. Some people believe we should go for the upper section. Others believe that we should go for the lower section, but it doesn't really matter. Mostly we blend. On a regular day, you're supposed to blend the two of them together. So I draw all the way to this point. And then you will trace your waist dart. In this work, my waist dart exists. So I only wanted to trace, I only wanted to move my bust dart. So I have moved, then I'll trace my grain line. Grain lines are very important. So when I finish and I take it off, look at what I have. Now my bust dart has been moved. There's no bust dart anymore, but I'll have a waist dart, and then I'll have my grain line all the way like this. So now when you are going to sew this top, you will sew a waist dart, and you will sew a dart in the underarm or in the armhole, and you will still get the same fit, the same design you were supposed to get. You are going to get the same thing. It's just that you won't have a dart at the bust. Maybe this looks a little bit some way to you, so you would want us to go over. Now let's try this whole thing once again.